This skill module discusses greenhouse gas emissions tracking over time at the core level. This section discusses why this topic is important. This skill module will help you understand how to assess an organization's greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions over time. This is important to identify whether the organization is increasing or decreasing its GHG emissions and how it is performing against any reduction targets. This will be critical to its business longevity. The ability to track an organization's GHG emissions over time enables its performance appraisal and if and when net zero is achievable. If the organization is not reducing GHG emissions, this will be evident, as will any measures implemented to address this failure. If an organization does not have effective GHG reduction plans and has not implemented an adequate performance monitoring process, then its business survival is in jeopardy. It may not be possible to assess an organization's greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions over time. The concept of a base year and the rules for its recalculation will not be understood. An inappropriate base year may be selected. The justification of the base year selection may not be possible. A base year recalculation policy and process may not be implemented effectively. Significance thresholds may not be considered. Structural and organizational changes may not be identified that have an impact on the base year. Base year recalculations may not be undertaken or may be completed incorrectly. An organization may not be effectively tracking GHG emissions over time. This means it will not know if it is achieving its reduction targets. This may be critical for business survival and the fulfillment of stakeholder requirements. The GHG emissions trend will be transparent and dependable over time. The organization's performance can be reliably appraised. The effectiveness of the GHG emissions reduction strategy can be evaluated. If the organization is not on target for planned GHG reductions, then effective action can be taken to establish the correct strategy. The organization will ensure that it is on track for net zero and will survive and prosper in the future low-carbon environment. The failure to reliably track GHG emissions over time may mean that the organization, 1, does not reduce its GHG emissions and is unaware of this. 2, is reporting a GHG reduction when actually it is a GHG increase. 3, has a GHG reduction plan that is flawed at best and at worst actually increases GHG emissions. 4, is using unreliably tracked GHG data to make strategic decisions that may be suspect. 5, is investing in GHG reduction measures that are ineffective and waste resources. 6, discloses the wrong GHG performance to stakeholders that may include the internal management team and external regulators, shareholders, NGOs, etc. This may result in penalties and will impair reputation. And 7, fails to meet its GHG emissions reduction targets, cannot adapt to a low-carbon business environment, becomes uncompetitive, and does not survive. Impacts of the GHG emissions are not effectively tracked over time, which means that 1, the GHG emissions performance trend is unknown. 2, the organization may be increasing its global warming contribution and not decreasing it. 3, incorrect strategic decisions may be made. 4, any published GHG trend data will be unreliable. 5, confidence in GHG data will be reduced for all internal and external stakeholders. 6, the organization's reputation will be damaged, including reduced shareholder confidence. 7. There is a risk of share price reduction and shareholder resolutions. And 8. There may be the need to issue corrected GHG disclosures to internal and external stakeholders. This skill module discusses the topics shown here. You may also be interested in the skill modules shown here.